last looks. This is going to be a thing I do at the end of every episode where we are celebrating art and culture and the things that we love. I'm going to ask about movie, music, book, TV show. So, first, what's your favorite movie?
Okay, well, that's the scariest question you can ask
Yes,
somebody.
it's true.
So Mike and I just got back 2 nights ago from our first college tour trip with William, which is
Oh my God.
psychotic, and we need to break that
I
down
was going to say,
on a different podcast. Um, it was really sweet and really fun, and it was just the 3 of us.
yeah,
So the dynamic was a little bit, like, different in that normally Ivy and I are, like, doing skincare in the bathroom.
yeah,
But, like, it was the
totally.
3 of us, and every night we would kinda, like, get into our hotel room and kind of snuggle up and put on a movie. And the
Love
movie that
this.
we kept returning to, because William is a 17-year-old boy,
Yeah.
and this is where he's at right now, is Anchorman.
Oh, it's perfect in every
And
way. Yes.
by the time, like, 5 viewings into Anchorman in 5 days, I was like, all we would do was watch Anchorman and then go to dinner and talk about how much we love Anchorman and then go home and watch Anchorman again.
Because you know how to live your lives.
Yes,
Like, A, that's just
exactly.
correct,
It was the only time we took a break from Anchorman was to watch Step Brothers, but I was
which
like,
is the only
which is
thing to
the
do. Yes,
yeah,
prestige worldwide forever.
Prestige
Okay.
Worldwide. But I was like, also, I mean, just,
That's
it's
perfect.
saying to Mike and William, like, this is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Even if, the first 200 times you watch it, all you can think about is how funny it is,
Yes.
and you're laughing your ass off. And, you know it by heart because it came out amazingly like 20 years ago.
I can't believe
But
that.
somehow or another, it still takes you by surprise every time, and you're laughing and you're laughing. But also, if you just studied that movie and the
Yes.
story moves inside of it, it actually is like it's perfectly done.
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
could teach a class in like how to write a movie, and just all jokes aside
Yes.
on Anchorman.
Totally. Just
It is
the structure and the
right,
storytelling.
and the character,
Yes.
like it's
Oh,
just it's a perfect movie. And and then I also like so many there's a way to answer this question and say, well, Barbie came out 2 years ago and I was obsessed with it. And I know you are too,
of
another thing that
course.
we share. Um, but also like the nostalgia that fuels a movie like Anchorman, where you're like, I just know this wouldn't come
Yes.
out anymore. And so I'm so glad
Oh,
that Adam McKay and Will
that it
Ferrell
exists.
made this when they
Yes.
did.
Yes.
Because
Totally.
now we all have it.
It's funny how that endures, and I'm just gonna tie this back real quick to me and Matt Smith at an airport. The other thing that we do now, if we're not on a plane together, and this started after we'd seen Anchorman, and I was getting on a plane, and we were still just, because that is also like the most quotable movie. So we would quote like random shit too. And we would talk about the part where he's doing like, I love scotch, 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 get in my belly. And so I would always just text Matt before the plane was taking off. And I was like, okay, love, belly. And we still to this day, 20
Oh.
years later, like we were leaving Portland and I texted him, I was like, love belly. And he's like, love belly. Like it's our good luck
Oh
thing.
my God, that is
But
so
Anchorman is a
it
perfect
really
movie in every
is.
way. And I love
And
that.
whenever you get into this situation of taking your kids to college tours and like facing down the barrel of like saying
Not
goodbye to them, like,
ready.
which was so intense and emotional, even though it's 2 years away, but
Yeah,
still you
but
just know
still.
it's out there.
Yeah.
Every time I was like struck with one of those feelings, just turn to William and be like, this burrito is filling. And you're like, oh, it's all okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's like take down the emotion of it in a great way.
It's perfect. I love
It's
lamb.
perfect.
Um, okay. You are stranded on a desert island. You have 2 albums with you to help maintain your sanity until you're rescued. What are those 2 albums?
This is such a good question, by the way,
Aw, thanks.
and it's a hard one,
It is.
but,
And I felt I couldn't do
no,
1,
thank you for
but
that.
I also felt like 3 was overkill.
No, you're right. It's a perfect question.
Okay,
It's
great.
a perfectly
Thank you so
structured
much. It's the
question.
Henry of
It's the
questions.
perfect size. Um, so I think, obviously, you know that one of these albums has to be
Yes.
Tay Tay,
Yes.
and I thought for a long time about which one it should be, and, I'm so curious where you are on this, but I landed on Tortured Poets. And I'll tell you my reasoning,
Tell me.
which is It's just the most amount of tracks to
Yes.
kind of keep me
Yes.
entertained.
The
B,
anthology.
underrated
Yes.
album that
Incredibly.
we knew was amazing from the get-go, and it took other people a little bit of a minute, and that's okay. We forgive, and it's
Yes.
okay.
It's fine.
But it is incredible. And I also just thought, like, on my island, I imagine that I'm spending some considerable time, as I always do, thinking about Taylor, wanting her to be happy, thinking about her life. And I love the emotional span of that album. So on that one album, I can like think about how, things ended with Joe and feel like
We can
really,
do So Long
yeah,
London.
like we can do So Long London and have our moment with Maddie Healy, which is like,
Oh my God.
we could regret it, but we shouldn't because
Nope.
everything, like, these are all learning experiences and it's
Yes.
fine.
Peter.
And then we end in
Oh, the
obviously
alchemy and So
Travis,
High School. Oh
yes.
my God.
And so every time you're like having weird moments, being like, are she
Is
and
she
Travis?
okay?
Is this right? You
Yes.
have on the album the Joe moment
Yes.
to go like, no, 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 this is why
This
it's
led to
good.
this.
Yeah, like
Yes.
he couldn't take
Correct.
her celebrity,
No. I
and Travis can,
I'm
and
sure
so
this is incredibly unprofessional, but I don't care. Okay. As we talk about this, I'm just going to bring in the Who's Afraid of Little Old Me
yes.
and the Travis Kelsey bobblehead that sit on a shelf together. Kind of behind me.
Because you get it.
Because this is one for the ages,
It
and I
is.
won't hear otherwise.
I know.
I love them both so much. It's crazy. Okay.
And then my second
Yes.
album, I think so this one was harder because I don't wanna do 2 Taylors. So my second one, and then I don't know if, like, I could say this in a court of law that this is, like, right, but
Yeah.
this is where I'm at right now, was, like, I think I wanna incorporate a little bit of, like, 80s and 90s, like, into so that
The
I can
best of
kind of, like,
times.
reflect on my life since I don't know when I'm getting picked up on this island.
Yes.
And so I went down roads of like what were like formative albums, and I was in spaces of like R.E.M. and I was in like Cat Stevens. I mean, this is like late 80s, early 90s, like Billy Joel, like these moments. And then I was like, but I want to sing
Yes.
on that island. Like I think that's going to be like really therapeutic.
Totally.
And so I got to the first Indigo Girls album.
Rites of Passage? Or the white one? Or Rites of
The one,
Passage?
the
The
2 of
pink
them,
with the white background?
yes, with the
Okay.
white bra
Okay.
Kid Fears, Prince of Darkness, Closer to Find. I mean,
Closer to Fine. Okay,
yes.
got it. Not Rites
So
of
that I
Passage,
can
which
belt
is
it
the
because
yes.
on
Okay.
road trips in my life, like, belt it from beginning to end,
When
you
sh
know?
when she is singing that in Barbie, were you like, "And now you've cut me to my core, Greta
Yes.
Gerwig. Now you've
Greta
cut me
Gerwig does
to
it
my
again.
core."
Yes, because she
Truly,
also somehow
because it's
gets
on
you
that one.
right.
It's so perfect. We need a whole separate podcast about the Indigo Girls. If you are a Gen X woman, how much impact they had, how defining, how it's still like talk about aged well. I could
Mhm.
still, I mean, but I'll go Rites of
Right.
Passage, Swampophilia.
Yeah.
But okay, you're going the first one. Great choice. Great choice.
I am very upset about the fact that Least Complicated and
Mm,
Galileo are not on this,
yeah,
and so, like,
no.
it's tough,
I mean, they have everything they do is good. But oh,
but
let me
don't you think
just
that we
am I a freshman in college
oh
crying
my
and listening
gosh,
to
I
Ghost
know,
on repeat? Maybe.
over and over again.
When I fashioned this used to be our guest room, I made it my office, um, after the pandemic, and I was like, "Okay, if I'm gonna work from home, I'm gonna make an actual space and not be 5 feet from where I sleep."
Mhm.
Everything
It's
I love
amazing.
is celebrated here.
I hope that
It's a
there's a
lit
camera on this
it's a
wall.
little much. As Amy said to me when I was FaceTiming with her and showing her, she's like, "I'm very visually filled up." Um, I was like, "I didn't realize how much I've needed a Virginia Woolf room of one's own until I
Yeah.
did this."
You're having your
And
all fours month.
completely. Thank you so much, Miranda July. And I really only know so much about Virginia Woolf because of the song that the Indigo Girls did about
Yeah.
Virginia Woolf. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, wait, and also you can cut this out, but I have to also say, and tell me if this resonates for
Yeah.
you, that secret third album, if you choose to put a bonus third album in there,
Do it.
maybe REM Automatic for the People.
Now, I mean, am I gonna throw this mug down? She
We
will
just like
disappear.
punch each other in the face.
I mean, literally, so the movie that I made last year in Portland, as you know, because Max is in it, one of your best friends, Max Greenfield.
Yes.
Okay, let's have kids. The the birth date of the two best friends who are the stars of the movie, we chose the birth date to be the day that Automatic for the People was
Oh my
released,
God, you're amazing.
which is
Is it
October 1992.
1992?
Yes,
Yes.
because that album is so meaningful. And as you walk down my stairs, you'll see the night swimming poster because that song specifically is the song that Matt and I first bonded over when we met. I was like, "Oh, well, this is my favorite song ever." And he was like, "That's my favorite song ever." Then I walked down the aisle to it at our wedding.
I can't believe I didn't know that. And I think
I
that
can't
it's
believe you didn't know that either.
I
That's so
know that
funny.
feels
That's
crazy that we
yeah,
haven't
this
talked
is
about it.
meant to be.
But
But I mean, does anything define
no,
high
that
school into
moment. Yeah.
college and just
It was my freshman year in college. It's like you can't look straight into the sun. Like I
correct?
can only
No.
listen to it like a couple times a year
Yes.
because it's too
That is me
intense.
with Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes,
Yes. Oh my
and Indigo
God.
Girls, Rites of
Yes.
Passage.
And you know what? With albums like that, you don't want to listen to them
No,
too much because they need to preserve their glow of what they
exactly.
remind you of.
And then when I do put on Tear in Your Hand, track 10 of Little Earthquakes, I am back in that dorm
Yes.
room,
Oh my
heart
God.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, so good.
okay. Books.
Books.
What is either your favorite book or a book you've read recently that's really stayed with you that you would recommend?
Okay. That's a really tough one too.
I know.
Because I can't tell you how often I finish a book and I say, this was my favorite book. Like 5 times a year. I love
Listen, we're people who want to
I
connect and
know.
bring a
And
lot
I
of
love how
joy.
much you love things. And I think that's where we cross over is that like
Totally.
I just fall in love. And I kicked off the year with The Bee Sting.
Ooh, I don't know
Which
about this. I
Becky
am.
Sloviter.
Oh my God, I cannot
You are
wait.
gonna
I'm
love
gonna
it.
lose my mind.
Yes, because I feel like you, like me, love any kind of art that just goes deep on humans.
Yes.
And
That's what we're trying to do here
that's
at
what we're trying
General
to do,
Meeting with Becky
right?
Sloviter.
Very
Exactly.
yeah. And so a dysfunctional family, like a story where yes, there's incident, but that's not what we're in it for. We're
Yeah.
in it for like drilling down and down and down and down and down on who these people are, how these dysfunctions have like affected the other members of the family. You're just like, oh, I was just eating it up. And it kind of had roots in like, are you a Jonathan Franzen
Of
person?
course, the corrections.
Oh,
Oh my
okay. So
God.
this is like the corrections was like, couldn't love it more.
Oh my
Everything
God.
he writes,
Yes, freedom.
ah,
Don't get me
purity.
started. Oh my God. Oh,
So good. He's so talented. And this reminded me of that.
amazing. I can't wait to get it. Last thing, TV show. Either what are you watching now that you've been loving, or this doesn't need to be like favorite TV show of all time, like the My So-Called Life lunchbox that you'll find up there. But it can be if you want. Or it can just be something you've discovered recently that you're loving.
It's such a tough one.
I know.
Because there's so many, but I actually like I went to Mike and I was like, what do I love?
What do
Have
I
you ever
love?
seen a TV show? I don't know. And he was like, I know this is weird because I work on it, but like the show that you talk to me about the most that you freak out after every single episode is Hacks.
Yes. I mean,
I just love it. I think like
Statsky just said she would come on to the pod.
oh,
I'm so excited to
every
have
time
her
I see
on.
that poor woman,
Could
I corner her. I mean, she's can't get a word in edgewise. I text her, I
It's a
DM
perfect
her.
show. I
I'm
know.
just like
I love her
amazed
so much.
at what they're doing.
Last season, this most recent season, it's like just when I think they can't get any better, then it gets better, but I
Yeah.
don't even want to compare.
And they've taken this dynamic between these two women,
Yeah.
and I can't believe what they've been able to pull out of while still staying true to like the
Yes.
premise of the show.
Kudos to Statsky and Paul and
Yes.
Lucia
Yes.
and Mike and everyone else who produces that show. It's incredible in what they're doing. I couldn't agree
I
more.
know.
I love you. I can't thank you enough for doing this.
I love you.
This
was
was
really this was
so
almost as good as our first meeting when we both cried.
exactly. exactly.
This
Well,
was so much fun. Thank
as
you
I
so
said
much.
last week, I don't know how to end a podcast. I'm just going to get up and give you a hug.
I love you. Thank you.